again, it's that kind of subject matter that even though the episode itself entirely may seem, the majority of it may seem harmless, it's that one subject matter, it's that one situation, that one plot point in the episode that caused the banishment. And true, it had nothing to do with any tragedy outside of the episode. It had nothing to do with any kind of tragedy. It was the situation that a young child had sold his soul to the devil. And when you take a look at it from a parental group, to them, that's basically encouraging children to do whatever it takes to get what they want. No matter what the issue is. No matter how many times people tell them, no, you can't do it. You can't do this. You can't do that. No matter how many times, to the parental groups, and to any groups very similar to that, hold on. And to any groups very similar to that, it's basically, in their eyes, encouraging, like I said, kids to go out and do whatever it takes. To get what you want, no matter what the consequences. If someone says, no, you can't do this, and yet you hear somebody else saying, oh, go ahead and do it, and you listen to that, that's basically the subject matter. But this, maybe more from a religious standpoint, and you definitely know there was a lot of Christian groups, and I am a Christian, born-again Christian. There's a lot of Christian groups, a lot of religious groups, Christian, Catholic groups and all that probably saw this episode when it first aired and really got on Disney about it and said, you take this off or else we're going to cause you trouble. And Disney's like, hey, we don't want trouble. Episode gone. And all because of the fact that, yes, a majority of it may seem harmless, but it's because of, like I said, that one sensitive plot point. That one plot point of Gosling selling her soul to get what she wants to the devil is what caused the banishment of the episode. So, again, are there episodes that deserved that, are there episodes that have to be banned because of sensitivity? Yes. Are there some episodes that don't need to be banned but are due to certain sensitivity or due to certain context? That's all up for debate. I mean, even Marvel themselves, I think, edited out one of the Spider-Man episodes around the second or third season when you had Punisher and Kraven around the remains of the around the remains of the World Trade Center garage, and you have, and I think they cut out the line that you even have Punisher mentioning the explosions, the bombings, and that this is all that remains. And that this is all that, basically explaining that, there's still remnants of the bombing and all that. So, they cut that out because I remember watching it a few times afterwards, and it took a while. I think even after 9/11, I think that's when they started editing it out. Maybe even sooner than that. That they edited that part out. It's like they just went into the area, they didn't say anything, and that was it. Well, I don't think it was 9/11 necessarily. I think it was more along the lines of maybe Oklahoma City or somewhere between that timeline. And I think they even cut out any mention that the building's garage that they were in was the World Trade Center. the point is, even Marvel had to edit out certain things with Spider-Man. I think even X-Men got some of that same treatment. All because some of the things they said, Ed and all that, probably were a little too sensitive or over the top, but a little too sensitive and maybe a little too shocking for people to even comprehend, or maybe a little too sensitive for them to handle. I can't really say. Warner Brothers has done the same thing too. Warner Brothers has done it with Tiny Toons and several of the other shows. Tiny Toons, no doubt, One Beer. That one little short, even though it was teaching kids at the end, it was teaching kids not to drink and drive. Or not to drink, because this could be what happens. That One Beer deal, even though you can probably still see it somewhere, is the only short that got banned. And a lot of people wonder, well, how can they show the elephant issues episode without that short? Here's the thing. The elephant issue episode has also been banned because of it. Now, I'm not sure, but I think maybe through some of the DVD releases they may have worked around that. I can't really say. But even Warner Brothers has done that with Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, Batman, Superman. They've done it. And it may not, Batman and Superman may not be logical choices in saying, well, they're darker, they're more mature. Believe me, they've done it. Believe me, I know for a fact they've probably done it. Even post Disney Afternoon with 101 Dalmatians, the series, there is an episode that got banned entirely, or at least one short, taken out of rotation and replaced by another that would be constantly now and repeat with it, where you have what's her name? Spot. That's her name, Spot. You have Spot thinking she's dying, and she wants to do all these last things. And one of the last things she wants to do is fly, but she's flying in a plane. And what does she do? She ends up crashing into a windmill with the plane. Now you might think, okay, her wanting to do all these things because she thinks she's dying and all that, that's fine. Anybody wants to do things, check things off the bucket list before they kick the bucket. But the reason that episode was taken, that cartoon, that short was taken out of rotation, and either the episode along with it was taken out, or the short was replaced with another short, is due to that last scene where she's crashing the plane into the windmill. Sound familiar? Sound similar? Exactly. See, even as far as that. And again, Disney, Warner Brothers, all these companies, they don't plan on these tragedies happening. They don't expect these tragedies to happen the way they did. But out of respect, they realize, okay, maybe this is going to have too much sensitivity, let's take it out. Maybe this episode has too much sensitivity, or maybe we shouldn't air this episode for a while, or if ever again, because of the subject matter. And that might be the case. Not that might be the case, but that might not be. Let me rephrase that. That is the case. That's not might be the case. That is the case. And because of that subject matter, because of that, is why you don't see these episodes around anymore, except maybe through torrents or Daily Motion. Either through torrents, Daily Motion, YouTube, you name it. The only places you see them. Only places. And why? Because just like Netflix and Hulu, YouTube is a streaming service. They don't follow under the regulations of FCC or any of these other groups or anything, because they're streaming. And pretty much you can see just about anything on the internet. So that's the reason why that's the reason right there, So basically that's the reason why certain episodes, depending on the subject matter or sensitivity or whatever, subject matter or whatever, are banned. That's why you don't see them anymore. That's why you don't see them in rotation. And yes, that's why it prevents certain series from getting certain animated series getting a complete release because of the subject matter of some of the episodes. Now I know some people might say, well, that's easy. All they have to do is just take the episode out. There you go. They can even put in a note saying, yes, there was da da da. They can even put in a notice saying, yes, there was da 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 da, but we took it out of rotation because of sensitivity. Or what they could do is they could leave the episode in there, uncut, unedited, put a warning on before the disc comes on, or even the episode comes on and says, this da da da, and explain why this is the first time the episode's been seen in a long time. Explain viewer discretion might be advised, that this and that. You know, kind of put a warning out there. And that might be the only way you get a complete series set. But again, like I said, it's because of all these sensitive subject matters that and again, as you know, as strong as the subject matter is, or as small or as weak as the subject matter is, all it takes is maybe either a phone call from a parental group or whatever to explain, hey, get this episode off or we're going to cause you trouble. And take it off. Or it takes a tragedy sometimes, which you don't expect, nobody does, to make you second guess your decisions. And make you realize, okay, maybe these episodes were good at the time, but because the subject matter is too close to what just happened, we got to take them out. Now I know some people might say, well, it's been a while for certain episodes getting that banishment. Shouldn't they at least get that DVD released? I mean, it's been over a decade. It's been almost, it's going to be, you got to realize this. You got to realize this. Okay? You got to realize this. Even though with 9/11 next year it'll be 15 years, and even though with Oklahoma City it's been 20, it's still hard for people. It's still hard for them. It's still hard for them to comprehend that the loved ones they lost on 9/11 and in Oklahoma City are not there anymore. It's hard for them to know that they got to, out of respect, that they go there every year to talk about the loved ones. Talk about the sacrifice they made in 9/11. To save people. The point is, like I said earlier, there are certain episodes that got banned, and even though a majority of it may seem harmless and stuff, the subject matter, like with hot spells, that's one of the reasons, and basically a child selling the soul to the devil to get what they want, that's one thing. That's one subject matter that even though the rest of the episode may seem harmless, it's like, that one plot point will cause it to go. And you take a look at things like Lien on the Property, which I've seen come back on, because I think they realized it's not as sensitive as it should be, relating to 9/11, but still it was taken down. There you go. And it's the same thing with what happened after Oklahoma City, which is why we never saw New Partners anymore. It's the same thing, as to why even though New Partners may have been close to returning into rotation, when 9/11 happens, that was completely wiped off the slate. That's why you see certain things from Warner Brothers, Marvel and all of them, certain shows that they had be edited and stuff, or certain things taken out of rotation. 101 Dalmatians, like I said, with that one episode, it's a good example there. So to me, it's more along the lines of, you know, yes, there are certain episodes that don't need to be banned, even though the subject matter may be one of controversy. To me, you can always put a warning before the episode and say, this is why. That's the way I look at it. Hot spells, yes, again, I get the reason. From a religious standpoint, as a born-again Christian, I get that reason. I can understand that. You know, but again, you know, this is why certain Disney afternoon shows, certain episodes of Disney afternoon shows are banned, because of the reasons I've mentioned. Are some of them legit reasons? Absolutely, no doubt. Are some of them kind of questionable? Yes. But there's nothing really we can do. So let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. I'll talk to y'all later.